The first thing that we need is consistency. Regardless of how you feel, you need to show up. You need to get the job done. You need to wake up, put your shoes on, and go to the gym. Or you need to wake up, put your shoes on, open the garage door, and train in the garage. You need to be consistent. There's the saying, you can be consistent without being successful, but you can't be successful without being consistent. We need to keep showing up. That's how we win. That's how big businesses are built. That's how powerlifters' strength levels are built. It's not because they do 1 session a week. It's because they do 3, 4 sessions per week, and they slowly apply progressive overload. They don't jump from a 200 kg deadlift to a 300 kg deadlift in 1 session. It's those increments in between that we really need to pay attention to. Consistency is so underrated. Unfortunately, it's not sexy. If you talk about it on an Instagram reel, that's not going to go viral. If you do a podcast on it, people don't really want to hear it. They want to talk about Ozempic. They want to talk about fat loss injections that they can get to accelerate the process. They want to talk about what performance-enhancing drugs they can take without compromising their health too much. They want to talk about what peptides they could take. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things, depending on who you are and your situation. But when you kind of talk about the road less traveled, the difficult path, it switches off a certain amount of people. And that's most of the population, to be very honest. When you look at the people that train in the world, it's a very low percentage. When you look at people that are health seeking and lifting weights and, getting sunlight on their eyes, getting 10,000 steps a day, this is a small subset of the general population of the world. But if you are interested in that, which you are if you're listening to my podcast, within that desire, there are things that we have to be consistent with. And training is one, nutrition is one, and our lifestyle is one. But overall, the principle of consistency stands true. We have to be consistent. And I'm not saying that if you get a bad sleep, if your kid's sick, you leave them at school sick and just keep training because you need to be consistent and continually show up in the gym. I'm not saying that. But you need to be consistent. If you're meant to train Monday to Friday and take Saturday to Sunday off, but your kid gets sick and you can't go to work on Thursday or train, you have to look after them Thursday, Friday, maybe those are your rest days, and then you find a way to train on Saturday, Sunday. There are ways around. Just like an injury in the gym, instead of stopping completely, train around it. It might just look differently. Maybe you go to the gym and you get an urgent work call. You're halfway through your workout. You attend to your work, and then you add that half workout later on in the program. It doesn't even have to be the next day or the next week. Maybe you have time to hit that in the 3rd week of the program. But consistency is like compounding interest. It just continues to build and build and build and build. And it's like that snowball rolling down the mountain. It continues to build momentum, and as you build momentum, it builds weight, and then it just continues to fall and fall and fall. And then you look back and realize, man, I'm just a snowball, like accelerating down the mountain super, super, super quick because you've just been doing it. The most challenging thing about consistency is the beginning. It's like you have no inertia, you have no momentum, you have nothing pushing you, and you kind of have to manually start, right? It's like when you start a sprint race, and if you're in a 100-meter sprint race, the last 50 meters, you're flying, you're just, you might still be accelerating, but by 50 meters, you should be at full speed. So you're kind of just like maxing it out. Like it's just being consistent, like, and kind of just like pushing forward. But the starting point, the start is the hardest. Your acceleration, your reaction time, how fast do you start? These things are the most important things of the sprint race. And the same thing goes with starting your body transformation. The start is the hardest. And that comes down to, and this isn't about the fitness related things. This is about the mindset or the non-fitness related traits that you need. But, having your training program sorted, having the level of calories that you need sorted, your macros sorted, the amounts of fiber that you need to hit, how your schedule is going to work to fit in your training sessions, how your sleep is going to be optimized throughout this time where you're trying to transform your body and in life in general. The start is the hardest, but consistency, regardless of your feelings, you have to continually show up. And showing up can look different, which leads me into the second point.